Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about when you're feeling exhausted by your healing process, when you're not sure if you're making any progress, and looking around and seeing that everybody's telling you to regulate your nervous system, everybody's telling you to live your best life, and how we can really feel like we're behind when we still get triggered, when we still get upset. Uh, and we really use that against ourselves, right? To think, I need more, I need to work more, I need to heal more. And so today I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the things that I see people commonly say, that there's also this tension between how healing actually works and how we portray it in on the internet and in the media and just generally, right? And so I'm also going to talk about just a little shift in how you can see your work so that you can accumulate this sense of shifting over time. Yeah, I know that a lot of people are really exhausted at the idea that they're not done yet. People are still in pain, experiencing anxiety, depression. There's so much going on in the world, and people just want a sense of relief, right? So we can grab onto these ideas of nervous system regulation and healing as a lifeline. And in the process of doing that, we end up dehumanizing ourselves in a way because we're expecting ourselves to be totally transformed. Um, and that really makes us not able to see the progress that we're actually making. Because when we're talking about shifts in your mind, your body, your mind body, we're talking about really subtle incremental changes over time, not huge catharsis and then full healing, but subtle shifts, just a little bit more space inside of yourself, just a little bit more access, more options, more choices. It's kind of like as you start to make changes physiologically, it's like your eyes open up just a little bit more and you can see a little bit more around you. There's more space inside of you. It really breaks my heart when I work with people who have been like on this healing process, on this journey, working so hard for so long, and then they get upset with themselves for being triggered or for something dysregulating them. And we're not actually just meant to be in one nervous system state all the time. So when we see this content online about calming your nervous system and getting to a healed place, and I know that it's so appealing to just want to be calm and at peace all the time, to not be in pain anymore, to not feel anxious anymore. And so we really seek that place of peace, of calm, like a grounding, like a place that we can land. And it's not realistic to stay there forever. There are things in our lives that are going to come up and feel really intense. We are going to see things happening around us that trigger our fear, our anger. And it's not always because you need to do more healing. Oftentimes, you're having an accurate response to the world around you. So, if we kind of separate out a little bit that human life is painful, intense, scary sometimes, from that we need to do more healing, then we can see more clearly and respond more readily. So I want to give you an example because I think maybe I'm being a little bit vague here. So sometimes I'll hear people say something along the lines of, I still got angry, or I got anxious. This thing happened and I got anxious, I got triggered, I got upset. And so I have to do more work on this. I have to keep healing. And it kind of makes it seem like if we still get upset, if we still get triggered, then it means there's still something that we need to dig deep around and heal so that we're not going to get triggered again. And while sometimes that is true, right, our external environment is giving us signals as to what's here for us that wants to be processed, kind of like it's giving us um, like a little tap on the shoulder saying, hey, you still need to think this through and feel this through. It's still impacting you. Not every experience is traumatic, and not every feeling is dysregulation. Sometimes anger is the appropriate response. Sometimes fear is the appropriate response. So it's not so much about never having these feelings ever again. It's more about being able to navigate through them and not get stuck in them, having this fluidity inside of yourself so that you can experience life as it comes at you, not feel so overwhelmed, help it move through with the support of your people, right? And your resources in life, and then continue on. So we have this oscillating way of experiencing the world, not just stuckness. We don't want to be stuck in a frozen space. We don't want to be stuck in an anxious space. And we can't really always be in a calm space. It's just not realistic. So instead of expecting ourselves to be fully healed, to have huge catharsis and huge transformation, instead of expecting that we're going to have a static way of experiencing the world, like once we get there to that healed place, we'll be unbothered forever. We won't ever have to feel this pain anymore. Instead of expecting that, which is impossible, super, super high standard, right? Because the more that you can feel, the more connected you become with yourself. Actually, the more you allow to move through you, the more feeling, the more experience you allow to move through you. Instead of expecting ourselves to just be one thing, fully healed forever. I'll give you another way of seeing this so that you can just maybe reframe what progress looks like. So we're stacking little wins. And this is at a physiological level. This neuroplasticity, it takes time and repetition. So experiencing ourselves in a different way is not a transformational moment. It's a series of new experiences, repeated, layered, patiently, again and again. And we can notice that this is happening because it's like, oh, I feel just a little bit more space inside of me. Or I noticed that I had 30 seconds of extra time before I reacted. Or I actually set that boundary without shaking in my boots. I've never done that before. These everyday moments where you just notice yourself doing something just the tiniest bit differently before you reacted immediately, before you could not set a boundary without shaking in your boots. Maybe you couldn't set a boundary at all. But now you noticed all of a sudden, naturally, you just did something a tiny bit different. And it's so essential that we catch on to these moments and celebrate them and anchor them because these are the real, we're traversing real change when we're noticing these things, these small moments of change. So if you're listening to this and you're being hard on yourself because you're still reacting, you're still anxious, you're still doing those behaviors that you don't like and you want to get away from in your life, just see if you can notice what has shifted for you over the last month or 3 months or 6 months. How are you moving just a little bit differently? Can you give yourself a little bit of credit? Because you don't have to do it all at once. You can take little chunks of your process at a time.